If any of you guys wonder what the best 250F is for Supercross currently in MX bikes, well, today, boys, we're going to be seeing if we can figure that out. I'm going to be taking all 9 of the major 250s in the OEM pack, and we're going to be taking it to round 1 of the DDC Supercross series. And we're doing 2 laps on each bike today. At the end of the video, I'm going to do an average lap ranking so you guys can see just based off pure speed where these bikes rank, and then also my personal ranking based off feel. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's have some fun today, boys. Let's test all these bikes. Are they viable? Are they not viable? Are they all the same? I don't know, boys. You're gonna have to watch the end and see. I think the results might shock you. All right, boys, here we go. We're starting off here on the Fantic 250, and I'm actually pretty excited. It's gonna be a pretty long video for me, at least. Recording all this is gonna take a while, and then editing it all, but anyways, 2 laps on every bike. We're gonna do 9 of the 10 250s. We're not gonna do the 23 Yamaha, because I don't really think there's a reason. I'm not even sure why they still have the 23 to be honest with you, since they have the 24 already, but anyway, that is the plan. 2 laps on every bike. We're gonna be taking the same lines, just trying to ride smooth and hopefully just kind of figuring out what bike feels the best. I did this on the 450s. Actually, it was a while ago, and it was before the update. And I feel like I learned a lot doing that. Learned a lot about every single bike and sort of the nuances. And I think that when you're just playing this game normally and you're touching maybe like 2-3 different bikes a week, you don't really get to feel all the differences. But when in one sitting, when you just touch all the bikes in one category, it's actually insane how different all of them are. But also how similar they are in speed. I really think every update the last couple of years has made these bikes closer. And I think this video will, I don't know, maybe prove that, maybe not. Maybe there's a bike that's just way faster. I have absolutely no idea. I am not really a 250 rider. My favorite bike's been the 24 Yamaha. And then the KX as of recently, even though I've only done really just outdoor testing on that bike. But anyway, we're gonna see what happens. This bike so far, though, feels pretty damn good. Feels very average, though. And that's kind of my guess. I feel like this bike's probably gonna be somewhere in the middle. I'm not gonna be judging this video purely off of lap time. Like, lap time's not everything. So I'm also going to be kind of just describing how the bike feels as well. Like, this bike feels pretty light, I think, compared to some other 250s, like the Honda, for example, or the Suzuki. I feel like this bike feels lighter than those. It doesn't feel very good in the whoops. Like, it doesn't do bad through them. It just doesn't feel very good. It feels kind of, like, unresponsive. And, again, I'm also using AEO setups, so maybe that changes things. I'm not 100% sure how much they go into depth with like suspension. I'm pretty sure that's like the main part of their setups is suspension and geo, so I don't know. That's the thing. I can't really talk to how the bike is stock, but I don't really want to take stock bikes to Supercross. Like, I could maybe do that for outdoors. I feel like for Supercross, that's just not really fair. But whoop section for the last time here. I mean, it munches it. Not like the quickest, but does a good job. And there is the 2 laps. Let's get on to the next bike. All right, boys, next bike. This is the GasGas 250, and already this bike feels a lot heavier, and the gearing feels a lot different off the bat. 3rd gear feels a lot more viable so far on this bike. I think that's going to be one of the hardest things for me, is trying to adjust to all the different gearings I'm about to experience, which is very important on 250s. You know, some of these triples are a stretch. You got to be in the right gear. Let's see if 2nd gear is good enough here. It is good. Okay, I kind of like this bike. Definitely heavier than the Fantic. It's not bad through the whips. It honestly feels kind of similar to the Fantic, except this bike feels a lot stiffer with the suspension. Like, a lot stiffer. I feel like all the Austria bikes feel stiff. This one's feeling very geriatric. This thing's very stiff. But it's working, though. Like, it is working. I'm having to focus a lot to ride it, though. Guess it's because I don't have a ton of time on it. But so far, it's ripping the dirt course. Is it going to do good through this whoop section? I'm going to shift to 4th. Ooh. Actually felt pretty good. Kind of corrected a little bit there. It almost did a little bit of a nosedive. Almost did a little Kenny Roxon. Alright, we go 2nd gear here. Hop over table. That's like the hardest part of the track, is getting that over that table. It's not the easiest thing. Definitely gonna have a bit of a heater here if we want this lap average to be good for this bike. Ooh, that felt really good. Oh, I'm starting to figure it out here. Wait a second, brother. Not the greatest corner there, but I'm getting a little scrubby. Oh, that corner felt really good. Come on, baby. That was kind of bad. Get over the boxy. Dude, this track just has so much flow to it. So much flow. It feels like once you're in the rhythm, you just can't mess up. Alright, third gear Lemmy. Hit that. Smooth exit. Triple. Triple. Oh, we grease those. Alright, don't want to case this. Better to OJ that jump than case it. Fourth gear. Don't lose the front. Almost did. Alright, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Ooh. Those were, dude, honestly, those laps might have been better than I thought they were. That actually felt pretty good. Alright, boys, third bike. We got the Honda 250 here. We got that Jet Lawrence model swap on it here. So it does look kind of fire. I made a video on this model swap about a week ago. And listen, I've been pretty bullish on the Honda 250. I've been saying it. I'm a fan of it, at least in outdoors. Supercross, I don't know for sure. I don't really know if I've ridden it too much in Supercross that I remember anyway. Maybe I have. I don't even know. I play this game so much. Why do I still love this game? I'm playing this game like every day for a year and a half. It's kind of crazy to think about. I'm also sitting here at 1:30 a.m. Probably going to be working on this video for the next like 2 hours. That's how much I love this game. Anyways, this bike actually feels really good so far. Okay, stay low there. It's really easy to like OJ onto that table and then not get the bounce to step onto the next one. So be careful there. Jump into this corner. These triples went really high there. That's on me. Gotta scrub these. It's very, very important for your speed. Alright. Get over this double. This is a big aspect right here. Wow. Feels very good in the whoop section. Oh, that was bad there. I got a little bit too aggressive. The bike, as far as feeling, I mean, I've kind of already described my feeling on the Honda in like past videos. The bike's heavy, and sometimes it feels sort of sluggish. But like its top end power is insane. Like it just like clicks to another gear sometimes. And like you could be coming into a jump phase and be like, I'm not clearing this jump, there's no way, and then you just get the speed of like the last second. It's like, what the hell? It's hard to describe. You have to like ride it to understand. Now the 450 is not really like that, but the 250 is. Not a great whoops run there. It's on me. Still doing pretty good here though. Pretty smooth. I don't know if I'm going that fast, but definitely should have been in fourth there. Try third gear here. Oh wow, third gear feels way better. Holy crap. Third gear pulls. That's actually insane. I'm gonna try third gear in the whoops. Nah, I need to be up in fourth. That wasn't enough. Alright, I'll try to finish this strong right here. 2 laps. Felt pretty good there. I mean, the lap times may not show it, but dude, that third gear in between those triples, those transitions, it's just pulling, dude. Absolutely insane. So, I actually like this bike. Husqvarna to Schmitty. Now, I think the popular belief is that the KTM's still the best 250, but this is a very close second. When I was watching the 250s ride at the DDC Round 1 Supercross race, I saw a lot of KTMs getting gapped by this bike, so that makes me hopeful that this is probably the best bike, or is at least really close to the KTM. Now, I rode the KTM last year during Supercross season when I raced the East Coast, and the KTM was really good last beta, and I have no doubt that it's still going to be pretty good, but this bike was really good for me outdoors, I found, on the 250 side. I never really ridden it for Supercross, and I haven't even touched this bike since the Beta 19 update, but so far it feels pretty good. Little mistake there. Feels like it has really good traction. That's like the biggest surprise right now I'm getting. Oh my god, the suspension's also really good though. Not even close to the GasGas. Like I was thinking this bike would feel close to the GasGas for some reason. Suspension wise, it feels like it just soaks. You know, like it's stiff, but it's not at the same time. Like it feels like it's just very gentle. Pretty good in the whoops. I don't think it's amazing. And that could be my technique, or that could be the setup. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna kind of go for it here this lap. I feel like I can. I feel very comfortable on this bike. I've been kind of sitting at about like 80% like speed or like 80% effort through these laps. Like I'm obviously not going 100%. I'm trying to go pretty fast on all these bikes. This bike feels good, dude. This thing feels really good. I don't know, it's like when I scrub it too, it's just everything's very smooth. Everything feels very controllable. I did not really get that feeling on the Honda. I mean, I like the Honda. Didn't really get that feeling. Definitely didn't get that feeling on the GasGas. Fantic just felt mid, but it may end up at the end feeling terrible once I try all the other bikes. It's kind of hard when you try a bike for the first time, or, you know, the first bike out of the order. You don't really know how good it really is until you try the other ones. I mean, this bike blows the Fantic out of the water. Like, not even close. And I haven't touched this bike in months and months and months. I mean, this thing just feels amazing. Nothing else to say about it. This is the bike I would probably ride, honestly. But I don't know. I gotta test the other ones. I think the Kawi, that's the one I'm most skeptical on. Kawi, obviously we're gonna get back on the Suzuki. I rode that a couple days ago, so we got a lot more bikes to go through, boys. Stay tuned. All right, boys, next up we got the Green Bean, boys. The Greenie. Love this bike outdoors. I have not ridden it indoors, I don't think, at all, so I'm quite hyped. I think there was like only like 2 guys that were using this in the DTC race out of the whole 30 gate field, and I'm pretty sure one of the guys that was using it won Moto 1, so that just shows you this bike is not bad, but no one's using it for some reason. I feel like a lot of people just stick to the bike they have skins for. So a lot of people have skins for like the KTM and the Husky from bit 18. And so I think they're just not willing to get on a bike where they don't have skins. Which, I mean, I guess I can kind of relate to that as well, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. I feel like that's my hypothesis as to why no one gets off certain bikes. Because this bike is not bad, I don't think. I guess we're going to see today. But to see only like 1 or 2 guys running it, and then one of the guys who's running it literally won the race, it's kind of insane. Like, that proves that the bike is like actually somewhat good. So far, it feels very similar to the Husky, but also different at the same time. The thing I love about the Kawi is how it feels in the corners. The front end, especially, feels very stable. It feels very low to the ground. Feels like you're never going to tuck the front. Okay, OJ the finish. That's not ideal. That lap felt pretty good. That lap felt pretty nice. See if we can replicate it. Yeah, it feels good. It feels light. Very agile, very mobile. Kind of just do what you want with it. Delivers power good, great suspension. I really don't have any negatives to say about this bike. I mean, I still have yet to ride a bike that I like truly hate. I guess the Fantic maybe wasn't very good. And the GasGas was kind of odd. I don't know. I don't even know what the slowest bike to this point would even be. I think it'd probably be... I would say it's probably the Fantic, right? Fantic or Honda. I feel like every other bike's felt pretty good. Like the GasGas didn't feel good, but I was still riding pretty fast on it. Alright, here we go. Finish strong here. Try to have a good whoops run. 4th gear. Feels really good in the whoops. Doesn't go very fast, but it's extremely stable. Here we finish, boys. That was pretty damn good. Let's move on to next bike. Alright. We're on the KTM. Now listen, we know this bike's gonna be good. Alright, we don't even have to talk about it. Alright, we know it's gonna be good. Alright. But how good is it really going to be when we compare the lap times at the end? I have no idea. I haven't been on this bike in a while. But I still have that muscle memory from Supercross last year, to be honest. Because I grinded on this bike. Absolutely grinded. And it's just a nice all-around bike. Like, it's just very all-around good. Like, it has really good acceleration. The suspension is stiff at times, but just also smooth, also silky at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like in between the GasGas and the Husky as far as the suspension. Husky feels kind of soft. GasGas feels pretty stiff. And then this bike's just kind of in the middle, just kind of doing its thing. And like taking both of the good aspects from both of those bikes. So yeah, I don't really like this bike outdoors. Never really been a huge fan. But Supercross, yeah, it's always been really good. So we'll see. Feels good so far. Whoops is where I feel like it really shines. Even though that run through the whoops was pretty horrendous. And I somehow lose the back end there again. I keep losing the back end in that corner. I don't think that lap was honestly that good. I mean, the bike feels good though. And I don't want these lap times to be like everything because I'm only running 2 laps and it's also a pretty easy track at the end of the day. It's more just an added stat. I'm going to actually give my own personal rankings on all these bikes at the end, and I'm not even really even look at the lap times. So remember that as well. It's not all about lap times. I mean, the bike just feels good, you know, it just feels smooth. But who knows? Maybe lap times are super slow and it's like deceiving. I have no idea. We'll see. Feels pretty good to me. Feels pretty good to me. Scrubbing this, scrub the third. Try third gear here. Oh yeah, that's smooth, dude. Freaking smooth, brother. Dude, I'm absolutely flowing around this raceway today. Oh, it is really good through the whoops. It propels itself. It wastes no time in the whoopie section. 2 pretty good laps on this bike. I guess we're gonna have to see what those come out to be. And I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite bike so far. I actually really like the Kawi and the Husky. I'd say this bike maybe falls below the Husky right now. So Husky, this bike, then Kawi. It's kind of a close race though. All right, boys, we know it. We love it. It's Dookie time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I made a video on this bike yesterday, and I thought it was pretty good actually. It took a little bit of a while to get used to it. You know, it's a little bit heavier, a little bit sketchier than most bikes, but once you learn how to be smooth on it, you can be successful. But it's just getting to that point of being smooth is actually quite difficult, which is kind of a surprise to me because I do love the 450 version. But the 250 is very similar in certain ways, but also very different. And the gearing is very odd on this bike. But once you figure it out, I think it's pretty good. And the whoops, oh my god. Absolutely munched the whoops there. Also noticing this bike feels like it's a ton of traction right now. Oh, I lost a little bit there. I think my throttle control's probably just gotten better on all these bikes so far today. Feels so weird just switching bikes though, but it's so much fun. Game's a lot more fun when you're getting on different bikes here and there. Kind of just stick to the same thing and just sweat the game. I feel like it can get really boring. Oh my god, it munches the whoops. Oh my god. Okay. That lap was alright, I think. I think the whoops carried that lap though. We gotta do that again, because that's part of it, dude. How do these bikes fare in the whoops? They all have manicured suspension on them. Literally built for whoops, so they all should do good, but if one does better than the other, that does factor in how good it is in Supercross, because that's a very important part of Supercross. And I mean, the 450 does really good in Supercross as well, so it's not a surprise that it does well. Dude, you just lean back. It's actually insane. I don't know if it's super fast though, like it just feels very reliable. Like just the weight of this bike though is like, I don't know. It's kind of the biggest L with it. Like I'm finding myself make these kind of like weird mistakes. And it's like recovering from mistakes feels harder on this bike as well. Like if you're not consistent, feel like this bike is not going to be good for you. I feel like that's the type of person that would want to be on like the KTM or the Husky. More forgiving. But then I say that, and then it's just amazing in the whoops. This bike is good, man. I mean, so far, man, I mean, even the Fantic at the start really wasn't that bad. I feel like I still haven't ridden a bad bike. Like, every bike feels good. Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing what the OEM team has done. They all feel very different, but they all feel good at the same time. Pretty crazy. All right, we're getting towards the end of the list here. We only have 2 bikes left. We got the TM right here, and then we got the 2024 Yamaha 250. So, yeah, obviously I've not ridden the TM at all since the update. I don't think anyone has. This bike, though, so far, feels quite good, which I feel like it always does when I first hop on it. But there's always a negative with the TM. Something always comes up that makes me hate the bike, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see. I feel like this track is pretty simple, you know, there's not like roughness or anything like that, so I think it'd be kind of hard to have a bike not perform somewhat decent on this track. But that's why we have the lap times as well. And some of these lines, I mean, they're kind of a stretch. Like, you do have to have some skill to get them. But I really haven't struggled on any of the bikes. Everything's been pretty smooth, pretty easy. Oh, I OJ'd that. That's a complete skill issue on my part. Oh, I'm gonna lose a bunch of time through here. It's fine. That's why we have 2 laps. You can have 1 lap that's not the greatest. The whoops is like the main question I have with this bike. Holy crap. Okay, I mean, it accelerated a lot through them, but it got willy-nilly. I can't tell if it's too stiff or too soft through them. I don't know what was going on there. It didn't like him, though. It was like fighting him, but it was low-key winning the battle. And somehow we saved it. But I just want to have a nice smooth lap here. Definitely the bike I'm the least familiar with, so riding the best on. I gotta focus a little bit more to get around the racetrack. But I mean, overall, it feels pretty good. It feels very light, very nimble. Feels kind of like a Yamaha in a way. Kind of like it, to be honest. It's really not even bad. You'd expect like the TM to be horrible, and it is the ugliest bike, right? Like, it is ugly as shit. But it does have some redeeming qualities, I guess. Very light. It's smooth. It delivers power very nicely. I also love the sound of this bike. Just the look of it, bro. If this bike looked good, I feel like people would actually ride it. I genuinely think that. It's almost became like a meme. Like, it's like the Dogecoin of the OEM bikes. Like, it's just a meme. It serves no purpose, no value. It's just funny to, like, point and laugh type shit. But those are the 2 laps. I mean, pretty good. We're going to see where that averages out to. I mean, to me, that didn't feel bad at all. It felt fine. Maybe the bike's a little bit unforgiving in the whoops. Probably in roughness as well, because the suspension's kind of wonky. But on a smooth supercross track with no E-road, I mean, the thing works just fine. You know, I could take this into a pub and still win by 30 seconds. No problem. So let's get on the Yam, and let's see how that bike fares. All right, boys, now we're on Dugan's bike, right? The Dugan bike, right? It's what everyone knows it as, what everyone cares about it, because it's Dugan's bike, right? Anyways, we are gonna, yeah, rip 2 laps. I do like this bike. I am a Yamaha 24 Yami believer. And yes, I do like it, especially in outdoors. I'm not exactly sure about Supercross, but that's exactly why we're here today. And, I mean, so far this bike feels good, which means there's not a single bike I rode today that I hate. Not a single one. I'm just going to say it straight up. Now, obviously, I have a least favorite, right? And we'll get into that. But to me, every single one of these bikes is viable and works. Now, some obviously worse than others. But overall, if you can't get around the track on one of these bikes, it's a freaking skill issue, man. And guess what? I've had a lot of those skill issue moments where I'll hop on a 250 and say, this is Garbo. But in reality, I was just buns at the video game. But I feel like today I've kind of proved, at least to myself, maybe not to you, but at least to myself, that the bikes are pretty damn good and they're pretty damn close overall. This... Oh, This bike just munched the whoops so hard. Whoa. Dude, this one might be the one. Wait a second. Hold on, hold the phone, brother. This thing feels good. Kind of wasting time in the air though. I need to like have better scrubs. Dude, it's weird how this bike like loses traction in the rear, but it like, it's very controllable for some reason. Almost like losing grip on this bike's just a part of it, but it still just grips right back up and feels great in the corners. Dude, I love this bike. I mean, listen, I've been saying I like it. This might be my favorite one, though. I wasn't really expecting that after the Husky. Husky was definitely my favorite up to this point. We're obviously going to have to check lap times. But also shout out to AEO. I mean, all these free setups are actually really good. Maybe the GasGas one was the worst. That was the bike I kind of felt weird on for some reason. Might just be because I've never really ridden it, so I'm just not used to it at all. But for the most part, all the setups were good. None of them struggled in the whoops, which is obviously like a really important aspect. This one especially is not struggling at all. Oh my Johnny. I mean, this might be the best one today. And I've been saying I like it. Now, I think there was a decent amount of Yamahas. Not a decent amount. I think there was like 3 or 4 Yamahas that raced this DTC event. It was mostly KTMs. But Huskies and Yams actually were the guys that were like leading. And then obviously a Cowie won the first moto of that 2-race format. So a lot of guys still sticking to the KTM for Supercross. But I don't think it's the best bike, man. We're going to get to lap times, though. Okay? That's what everyone's waiting for. What do the statistics say? Let's get into it right now, boys. All right, boys, so for the average lap rankings, it goes as follows. Yamaha #1, Husky, KTM, GasGas, TM, Suzuki, Honda, Cowie, Fantic. Now, this list honestly didn't surprise me too much until I saw that the Cowie was all the way down in 8th. That to me is insane because I like the Kawasaki. I think it's a pretty good bike. And I also like the Honda. And they were kind of in this grouping of 120.8. And then you also saw another grouping of 120.3 with the GasGas, TM, Suzuki. It's kind of weird how like the bottom 6 lap times all were like averaged out to be about the same. Then you have the top 3 that sort of separated themselves in the Yamaha, Husky, and KTM. And I think that's actually shown on the Pro Racing Gate as well. You see a lot of KTM still, and obviously you see a lot of Huskies. Those are kind of the 2 main bikes people ride. But to me, the Yamaha was the fastest bike. But now we're going to get into what was my favorite bike as far as feel. Not really factoring lap times, but which bikes did I like riding the most? That's going to be the next ranking here. Let's take a look. All right, guys. So these are my favorite bikes just overall, based on feel, based on speed, based on literally everything. What bikes do I like the most? This is the list. The Yamaha is my favorite. I came into the video saying that. I'm leaving the video saying that. The Husky surprised me. The Cowie, even though it didn't have good lap times, I thought felt really good. Felt very consistent. I don't know if it was like my gearing wasn't very good. Maybe I had to shift up a couple times. Didn't do it. But KTM 4, KTM solid. I'm not going to come in here and hate on the KTM, even though I'm not going to ride it. I don't know. It's a good bike. Then you got Suzuki, Honda, TM, GasGas. Fantic to me was the worst feeling. The Fantic and GasGas to me don't feel very good. The TM honestly didn't feel very bad. If we're talking about which bikes are bikes that I could ride and probably do good on, I would definitely say the top 6 on this list, and you can probably add the TM as well. The GasGas, even though it had pretty decent lap times, I don't know. I didn't really like it too much. Maybe I gotta put more time into it, and that'll change my mind. But for the most part, I liked all the bikes. Like, I don't hate the Fantic. It just wasn't my favorite. But this is my list. You guys wanted to know kind of what 250 I like going into the 2025 Supercross season and then the rest of 2024. We will be getting an OEM update as far as I know in December sometime, probably late December. I'm not exactly sure how much is going to be changed, but I know that we're probably going to get the new models with the Triumph and I think Ducati and the other brand, whatever the hell, I don't even know, the Beta. We're getting stuff like that, I think. I don't know if they're going to do physics changes or what the hell is going to happen. Because I am not one of the top guys in the OEM team. I'm just a tester. But anyways, that's the video. Hit the like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.